The grid for the Superstock 1000 Championship at Knockhill. Danny Buchan once again on pole position, ahead this time of Hudson Kenner riding number 1 and Lee Jackson on the build-based BMW. And then Dominic Usher, a strong qualification from him on the GNS Racing Kawasaki, ahead of the second row from Adam Jenkinson and Michael Robertson. Third row headed by David Johnson from Joe Burns and Jimmy Storer. And row 4, Philip Backlund, Jason O'Halloran and Victor Cox. Danny on pole position, bike number 83, the tall 6'3" boy from Essex. Can he nail yet another win? Can Hudson Kenner, number 1, who beat him last time out, do anything about it? What a pair of starts. Everybody everywhere off the start. Danny Buchan going almost elbow to elbow. He does work, he does grab the advantage from Kenner's BMW as the whole field pours down through Duffer's Dip. Everyone gets through there safely, thank goodness for that. But Danny Buchan instantly beginning to, and a bit of bumping and boring going on, but it's Buchan extending an instant advantage over Hudson Kenner. And third man on the grid, teenager Lee Jackson on the build-based BMW. Michael Robertson has made a dashing start and is into 4th place ahead of David Johnson, Adam Jenkinson, who narrowly lost the title last year. Beautiful day here at Knockhill. Perfect view there of the hilltops as the guys dive into the hairpin for the first time with Jenkinson. That was Lee Jackson having a move made on him. Lost the line. It's Buchan, Kenner, Jackson, Robertson, Johnson, Jenkinson, Burns and Usher in that order, with Usher having been pushed straight down to 8th place and Jason O'Halloran jumping up to 9th ahead of Josh Day. O'Halloran needs the points, James.
He does indeed, he does indeed. It's a great start from Michael Robertson, not someone we've spoken about too much here, number 99 there on the orange and white bike, so that's the man that we're looking at and talking about. A great start from him. Obviously he did qualify in 6th spot, second row, and he's just behind Hudson Kenner there on the BMW. Hudson Kenner, after that win last time out at Snetterton, looks like he's just raised his game again, but Danny Buchan didn't get the best launch off the line. It wheelied a bit, but he is really trying to check out early on.
An early move being made there. I think that might have been, was that David Johnson on that beautiful blue machine there, number 20, who outbraked Jenkinson, I think, into the hairpin. As they drop down the hill, though, it's Buchan from Kenner, Robertson, Johnson, Jackson. Joe Burns has pushed through into 6th place. The local round ahead of Jenkinson and O'Halloran. As they surge round on the second lap then, Danny Buchan already tried to make his escape, and it's only Hudson Kenner able to go with him at the moment. But what about Michael Robertson on the orange and white machine, the local 26-year-old from Danderhall, who first came to our attention with a surprise wildcard runner-up spot in 2012 in the Superstock 600 race, but he's losing out to David Johnson as they cleave into the hairpin and then charge up the hill. He then won the Superstock 600 race last year here at Knockhill. That boy, Michael Robertson, when he was running eventually in 6th place overall in the championship, but he's just losing out at the moment. This, remember, his rookie year on the 1000cc big bike. Now,
Danny Buchan has just smashed the lap record. You can see his lap time there, 49.1. The lap record is a 50.2, set by Tristan Palmer back in 2011. So Danny Buchan, and as you can see, nearly half a second quicker than Eddie Buchan. Obviously won the first 2 reserve and obviously won the couple races, was second to Hudson Kenner in the last one at Snetterton, but Danny Buchan looking really good early on here.
David Johnson, the Australian from Adelaide there on the blue PR Racing Kawasaki. Joe Burns goes down.
No.
Burns goes down and luckily collects the local Scottish boy, Michael Robertson.
Well, I said, look at Joe Burns. You could see he'd outbraked himself. And he was rushing in. He couldn't get it stopped. He was trying to miss the back of Jackson, and he just couldn't do. Now look at the blue and the white bike coming up on the inside. Look at him closing down. He's got the back wheel skipping. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then he just about, look, he misses it there, clips him, and then poor old poor Michael Robertson gets taken out as well. So nothing Michael Robertson could do there. He was just minding his own business, having a great ride, and unfortunately Joe Burns has just outbraked himself, got it a bit wrong there.
And you know, that looked such a simple fall, James, and yet he went down and almost slow-mo in motion.
Yeah, well, you say slow motion, it might be in slow motion there, but obviously they're braking from over 100 mile an hour. You know, these are big, heavy things, so when it actually collects you and you're not expecting it, you're not prepared physically, you don't brace, you know, so it does poof, you know, it catches you unawares.
There's Dominic Usher, number 72, we've seen, who qualified so well. He's now running in 7th place on the GNS Racing Kawasaki, the electrician and joiner from Beverley in East Yorkshire. So make a sudden surprise appearance on our leaderboard here in the 1000cc Superstock race. And at the moment, holding 7th place ahead of Josh Day, Philip Backlund, the Swede, and Marshall Neal, the Ulsterman. Yeah, here comes Josh, trying to get round Dominic Usher, and they lurch through his lumps, but Usher's strong on the brakes.
He is indeed, and they've changed this corner, so this corner has been heavily modified since they've been here before, which is one of the reasons why. Oh, someone else is down there in the back. It's the back, so let's have a little look at this. Oh, it's Hudson Kenner! Hudson Kenner, 3rd in the championship, won last time out, had a good 2nd spot there. You know, he was riding in 2nd, he had a safe 2nd as well, so Hudson Kenner just pushing a bit strong. The current champion, of course.
Well,
wow.
That's after Hudson won in a dramatic confrontation with Danny Buchanan, and actually beat him for the first time at Snetterton in a terrific duel that they waged there. And now Danny can look up and think, oh look, I've lost my nearest opposition, I'm on my own.
Yeah, he can. So Danny Buchan there. I mean, look at that lead he's got now. It's enormous around here. It's absolutely enormous. Now we got Jenkinson's up to, look at it, Jenkinson and Jackson. It's a good ride from Jackson as well there on the build-based BMW. But number 11, Adam Jenkinson, just slipping through there and trying to hunt down Johnson in 3rd. 2nd now, of course. Sorry, 2nd with Hudson being out.
So Adam Jenkinson then, who a year ago was also on the SMT bike back then, now riding the Steve Brogan racing bike number 11. Incident involving Joe Burns and Michael Robertson at turn 9 under investigation. That doesn't bode well for the poor likeable Geordie lad, because he just got it a bit wrong going into the hairpin. It's not been the first, and he certainly won't be the last. This is the battle going on now for 2nd place. Buchan is away, gone in the distance. He crosses the line now to complete 8 laps as David Johnson on the PR Racing Kawasaki in blue charges up the hill. He's almost 5 seconds adrift, but just ahead of Adam Jenkinson and Lee Jackson.
Yeah, and also let's keep a little eye out for Jason O'Halloran there in 5th spot. So O'Halloran's just been gently going about his business, but taking a 10th or 2, set his fastest lap of the race on the last lap, and I think he's just starting to work in on that top 4. So we'll keep a close eye on him. He's nearly on, well, he's going to be on the back of these guys as well. So O'Halloran doing a good job, 2nd in the championship, obviously, and he's just coming off the back of these boys.
The garage owner from up in Perth, you'd expect to go well here. Jimmy Storer, after disappointing qualifying, is moving through the pack now. He's reached 8th place, just behind Philip Backlund.
And there's the man I'm talking about on the Honda Fireblade SP. Beautiful looking bike, lovely paint job, bit of a nod of the hat to the old RC30 of the late 80s. Absolutely gorgeous looking thing, especially with the gold wheels. Really keen on it.
So number 122 then, Jason O'Halloran, another of our Australian visitors, trying to join in with the Adelaide member. Oh, he did, almost took the front then, James.
Yeah, he just had a little bit too much back. Is he gone? No. Oh, I thought he just lost a bit of time there. He just got it sideways, and he just had to shut the throttle as he was coming out of picture there. So it just cost him a little bit of time, and that's because he's chasing on these guys. It's hard. You've just got to be patient. Obviously, they're long races. They feel long races, 24 laps. So you've just got to work at just taking a 10th here, a 10th there when you can. But David Johnson doing a good job there in 3rd, Jackson in 4th, and then 4th and O'Halloran there.
David Johnson, number 20, of course, enjoyed some success at the TT, James. He got his best ever result with a 4th place in the Superstock race. He's always enjoyed this category, and he's looking very strong. The 32-year-old former runner-up in the World Junior BMX Championship when he was a lad, and was South Australian 125 GP champion back before heading over to England. We've never got rid of him since. He seems to have been here forever.
Yeah, he's a really good character. He's a nice guy. Oh,
and that's Jenkinson! Oh, the Brogan bike gets, well, that's going to cost a few pennies from their pockets. Adam Jenkinson goes down big time into Clark's, was that? Just goes light over the hilltop, does it, James? And then that's it.
If you're just coming in, you can see that he's coming, he's got it. Is he not on the first tuck of the brakes? He's just pinching a little. Oh, he's wide. He was wide, actually. He was too wide. He left his braking a bit late. So he was on the, just going too wide with too much front brake, and it's just tucked the front. Fortunate for Jenkinson. Jenkinson was fifth in the championship. Best result of fourth so far this season. So he'll be bitterly disappointed with that because he was on the podium.
So a disappointed 29-year-old landscape gardener then from Cheshire goes out big time and leaves even more room for this man. You'll notice there's a lovely new fairing on Danny Buchan's new bike. Krabby's is a locally produced ginger beer that also imports Qingdao beer, which is their, of course, that's the regular sponsor of the bike. So they've put a lovely Krabby's fairing on for this.
Yeah, it looks cool as well, doesn't it? I mean, it's great to see sort of different sponsors there, but Danny Buchan, he is just come alive this season. You know, he's always been good, but he just looks so comfortable on that team. The team are providing him with a great bike, and you know, he's doing wonder jobs on the Kawasaki.
Philip Buckland, number 3 in 6th place, and then this is Jimmy Storer just scything away with your mate from Reading, Daniel Johnson. Johnson number 86, Storer number 54. All down from Perthshire, running in 7th place. I beg your pardon, he's running in 8th place because Dan Johnson got the better of him on that lap. So Dan Johnson making progress then, bike number 86.
Yeah, he is indeed. You can see you've got Philip Buckland in front of him, number 3 as well. So Daniel Johnson there, he's doing a good job, number 86.
On the ice race field. The ice racing Kawasaki.
Oh, look at Packland's bike just skipping along, coming into there, and there's moves coming all the way down the pack. See, it's one of the best places to pass here. It is quite hard to pass a Knockhill. The hairpin has always been a classic spot to pass, but you've got to be close enough coming out the left-hander before to set yourself up.
And that was number 35, Gavin Hunt from Douglas on the 9 Motorsport Kawasaki, who got the better of Josh Day then on the dive into the hairpin. So Day's been shunted back to 11th place. Buchan, meanwhile, has a 5.5 second advantage at the front. We've lost number 44, Barry Teasdale, on the Norske Truck and Van Kawasaki. He's gone down.
Turn 7.
His bike gets pushed away. Buchan goes on his merry way, untroubled, with Johnson second. Lee Jackson on the build-based BMW in 3rd. But look at Johnson pulling away now. This battle for 3rd place very much between the BMW and the Honda number 122 of Jason O'Halloran.
Yeah, it is indeed, and it's a great ride from young Lee Jackson there. Looking at them on the build-based BMW, doing a really good job. Top BMW in the race. Just 2 Kawasaki's in front of him, then behind him you can see Jason O'Halloran on the Honda. And that is, of course, the last dice for the podium spot. But look at that. David Johnson's got a nice little gap there. He's got 1.4 seconds up on these guys. And, well, it's going to be a good... Can they do anything with Johnson? I don't think so. I think Johnson's made that break now. It's hard to pull back off. Obviously got 9 laps left, so he's doing a good job. But O'Halloran is right on the back of Jackson now.
This is the battle for a rostrum place, with Jason O'Halloran gradually just teeing in number 14, the 18-year-old from Lincolnshire, the plumber from Lincoln, Lee Jackson. He's in 3rd place. He's lapped at 50.37 against 50.32 from Jason O'Halloran on that lap. So very, very evenly matched, the BMW and the Fireblade. Yeah. Adrian Gorse, of course, legendary crew chief, is here working with O'Halloran this weekend, and Simon Buckmaster's keeping an eye on proceedings as well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's come to help out. Lots of rumours that we might see Buckmaster back in this series next year with the team, maybe. But he wouldn't say yay or nay when I spoke to him.
We've lost one of the Scottish local boys, Andrew Tasker from Clackmannan on the Team Tasker Kawasaki, who's pulled into the pits. Meanwhile, out on track, O'Halloran still trying to get the better of David Johnson. Remember Davo Johnson, he got a 3rd place at Oldham Park, so he's no stranger to the rostrum this year.
Well, no, he wins a race every year as well.
Yes, he does, you're right. It's kind of that, you're absolutely right. One thing David's never found is consistency, but he'll always win a race during a season. So as they all cross the line now, O'Sherickland and Johnson. And that's Gavin Hunt. That's Gavin Hunt he pulled that terrific move on Josh Day at the hairpin, and now he's just overstretched himself by the looks of it.
Let's have a little look.
Oh, and he has, yes, he was trying to pull that move again on Jimmy Storer that time, and it didn't work. And Gavin Hunt from Douglas on the Isle of Man drops his Kawasaki. Meanwhile, no sign of this lad dropping a Kawasaki. He must have enjoyed listening to AC/DC before the race and teeing himself up with his favourite track, Thunderstruck.
Sorry,
O'Halloran's through.
O'Halloran's got past there. Wasn't sure whether he got past on that, but look at the speed of the BMW. It's pulling alongside him. Who's going to get it? And the BM, yeah, it's just got the legs on the Honda round there. O'Halloran's going to try and square it off again. Good dice between these two.
Lee Jackson, for an 18-year-old, he's looking an experienced lad. The way he's wielding this 1000cc monster, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. You know, he's not slinging it down the road all the time. He's learning, he's progressing, and you know, this is a superb. This guy could well be a name for the future. You keep an eye on him. He's doing a stunning job there for an 18-year-old.
So Lee Jackson clings on to that rostrum place for Stuart Hickens' build-based BMW team as Jason O'Halloran tries to close the gap on the brakes.
See, that was really nice as well. He was really using his head there, Jackson. You could see that he was kind of forcing him to the outside. He was covering the inside line. Again, riding like a rider with a lot more experience. You know, he was just clever rider. He's not flustered. He's doing a good job, and he's actually just even bought himself a couple of tenths on that lap.
Do you know, there's one thing you could never describe Lee Jackson as, is flustered, James. Have you ever seen him remotely flustered?
No, and that's what a great trait to have, you know, get in your rhythm, find your groove and just work at it, and doing a great job. Johnson, though, has got a good second. That gap staying pretty constant around the 1.5 second mark, and it's really going to be about this last dice, unless someone does something silly. First and second is taken, but Joe O'Halloran is coming up the inside on the brakes, got the line this time. He tries to tough it out, but no chance. You are not going to go around the outside of someone there.
But what about the BMW power again? Has he got the drive? This time, no, O'Halloran got a much better swoop out of the hairpin, up the hill. He makes it stick. The Fireblade moves back through. So Lee Jackson, who hasn't yet managed a rostrum this year, having had 3 rostrums in his rookie season last year, on his way to 4th in the championship, will have to regroup and fight again. We're on the 20th lap of 24.
Yeah, well, I think one of the advantages the youngsters got is I do think that BMW is probably just a little bit quicker down the straight than O'Halloran, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do here. This is the best passing spot, so you've got to be a bit closer than that. You can see O'Halloran's got great drive coming out of there, and this lap he's not going to be able to do it, but he's got to put him in a nice close position to come out of here. Lovely on the brakes there, and he's done exactly that. And as you come out now, let's have a little look at the legs of the BM. He's not out the slipstream.
Not close enough now.
I'll tell you what, they've taken near over half a second out of David Johnson in second spot on that last lap. So that is, look at that, 0.6 of a second. And somebody did it actually. It did look like Jackson maybe missed a gear there, but these guys have not just, whether Johnson's got a problem or he doesn't realise they're pushing quite so hard. These guys have now got a taste for second as well. And actually, Jackson could do worse, so just stay behind O'Halloran and let him pull him back into Johnson.
They must both realize how quickly that distinctive blue bike is coming back towards them now. The PR Racing Kawasaki in second place has the 2 red and white machines almost for company, and the 22nd of 24 laps. They've not got much time to do anything about this, mind. Well, it's pretty short, snappy laps here as the BMW tries to get alongside again.
It's another 0.3 down to 0.7. It was a 1.6 a few laps ago, but David Johnson, you saw him look at you could see his helmet just turn on that start-finish straight and look at his board. He knows they're coming now. He knows whether he made a mistake or whether he's just had a look again, find his rhythm enough, give them. And sometimes when you're suddenly a bit flustered and you made a mistake, it can be quite hard as a rider.
Perhaps he simply relaxed a bit because he had a handy lead at one point, 3/4 race distance, James.
Very much, yeah. 1.6 seconds around here. You can double it on a normal circuit. That's 3.2. So
now he's regathering his senses because he really has got company on the brakes. Then we now have Kawasaki, Honda, and BMW lined up in this battle for second place. Buchan completes lap 22. He's gone. What about these 3? They've got to fight it out. 3 into 2 won't go. Someone's going to get the silver medal, someone the bronze, someone's going to miss out.
Well, they are right on him now. The point is, unless he makes a mistake, the best place is still to pass at the hairpin. There's only going to be 2 more times that they can do that. But again, if you come up here, when you come to this little chicane, if you square it off right, you can sometimes beat the rider to this next right-hander up the inside on the brakes. Not this lap. They're all holding station. It's going to be at the hairpin. I reckon O'Halloran might well have a go at the hairpin this lap. He's in a goal.
He drives through Hizzies. He's going to move to the right, approaching the Taylor's hairpin, and I thought that Lee Jackson might have a look underneath. I suspected he might. He's got to have gotten it.
He's miles too hot.
Pulls it back. The BMW comes across, tries to hold off Jason O'Halloran and hold on to that 3rd place. Elbow to elbow up the straight. David Johnson ahead of them into the final lap. Jackson pulls himself through. He's going to be in a position now to attack Johnson on the last lap.
Yeah, he is. Johnson does know they're coming now, but he made a great move there, but had to run a little bit wide. Is he having a look up the inside? Yes, he
brilliant.
is. And he goes wide. No, the BMW's kept it.
Oh, and here comes O'Halloran. O'Halloran wants to get on that rostrum.
Well, I tell you what a time to move it, and he's bought himself a little bit of time as well. So great move there from Jackson. There is the leader.
And it's a 3rd win out of 4 races for Big Danny Buchan. He does it again, gesticulating to the crowd as he wins the Superstock 1000 race. Meanwhile, in the background, the battle on at the hairpin. It's Lee Jackson, Bill Base advantage. Brilliant ride out from the 18-year-old as he hauls up the hill. He grabs 2nd place from David Johnson. Oh, Johnson almost caught on the line, just hangs on to that 3rd place.
I tell you what, I'm not sure Johnson knew how kind O'Halloran was. He ended up just getting that by 9/100ths of a second. But what a race. Danny Buchan, 9.9 seconds in front. That is incredible round here. But what about Lee Jackson? Timed it perfectly on the BMW there and came through to 2nd spot. A great ride from the 18-year-old. David Johnson, again, another super ride in 3rd. O'Halloran in 4th.
The result of an exciting Superstock 1000cc race here at Knockhill. Danny Buchan wins it by 9.9 seconds handsomely, but the battle behind him eventually went in favour of Lee Jackson's build-based BMW from David Johnson's PR Racing Kawasaki and the Honda of Jason O'Halloran. Dominic Usher, brilliant 5th place from Beverley and East York. Usher ahead of Dan Johnson. Philip Backlund, Jimmy Storer finally in 8th place ahead of Josh Day and Irishman Marshall Neal. 11th place went to Freddie Foray on the 2nd of the Hondas. The Frenchman leading home, James East, Victor Jess's trailer, and Johnny Blackshaw gets in the points in 15th place ahead of James Egan, Connor Cummings, Liam G. Cock, Sean Windham, Oshfield and Tom Tunstall. After 4 of 12 races, we have Danny Buchan handsomely leading the championship as Jason O'Halloran moves through. He's in 2nd place. Lee Jackson comes into 3rd place. Philip Backlund is now 4th. Hudson Kennard from 3rd to 5th after that uncharacteristic exit at the hairpin. David Johnson is 6th ahead of Adam Jenkinson, who also crashed out on the Steve Brogan Racing Kawasaki. Josh Elliott 8th ahead of Dan Johnson and Josh Day. 11th place for Connor Cumming Cox. Marshall Neal is 30th. Cillian Lachon ahead of Dominic Usher. What a ride from him. Glenn Richards and Jimmy Storer with Danny Eslick, Lee Johnston, James Egan and Freddie Foray rounding out the top 20. Danny Buchan off pole position alongside reigning champion on his BMW #1, Hudson Kenner, but it's Buchan who grabs the vital advantage as they drop down into tougher stip. And the huge packed grid of 1000cc stockers all get safely through the first turn. Buchan already tugging out a lead at the front as number 14 Lee Jackson and my local lad Michael Robertson, number 99, tangle over 3rd place. And then David Johnson moves through. A big move from Geordie boy Joe Burns goes wrong. He clips the unfortunate Michael Robertson and the 2 of them are out of the race. David Johnson now then in 2nd place under pressure from Adam Jenkinson, but he throws away the Steve Brogan Racing battle on for 2nd place. And it's Lee Jackson who gobbles up the two men ahead of him, dives through inside Dave Johnson and the Honda of Jason O'Halloran, outbreaks himself, has to do it all again, up the hill, into the final lap. Johnson back in second place, side by side with Jason O'Halloran. It's Jackson, holds on to third and then slips his way through. Brilliant move at turn 3 at Scotsman's, and that means he's now clinched second place just. Danny Buchan win third, win out of 4 this year. In the background as they drop into the hairpin, it's Jackson who hangs on to that second ahead of Johnson and Jason O'Halloran. A win then for Danny Buchan at Knockhill.
Danny, congratulations, another victory and you extend your championship lead. You look like you were on cruise control for the second part of that race.
Yeah, I mean, we just got a good start. We know we had a plan at the start of the weekend, and yeah, we knew we had the pace, so see what we can do. And to be fair, I just got out there, just started putting some laps together, and I sort of looked down at my lap time, 49.1, and thought, like, oh, I'm going all right now. I just keep it, and I just sort of just set my own pace, and I just see the ball just increasing the gap, and yeah, just thought, just keep chipping away and getting that one step closer to that championship, you know, which we all want. So,
well done, mate.
Thank you. Just like to say, thanks to my sponsors. So, cheers.
Well, that victory for Danny Buchan kicked off a great day's racing here at Knockhill.